Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with all the background racket that's going on just outside the studio. There is life happening out there, but we're not going to let it stand in the way of the fun that we have in store for you. Out here on the table in front of us, we have kind of a nifty looking little bag or backpack, whatever you want to call it. We're going to cover this in depth here in just a minute. It was sent to us by the folks over at CV Life. Now, if you've never heard of CV Life, neither had I. So how did we wind up having this bag? Well, as you're probably watching this video on YouTube, possibly a different platform, but probably YouTube, you'll know that most of the videos on our channel relate somehow to the 2A community. Well, because we make videos in that variety, occasionally companies reach out to us and ask us if we want to take a look at one of their products. That's what happened. That's how I came to know about CV Life, and here we are. This particular bag is their 30-inch rifle case backpack sling bag. They have a variety of descriptors on their Amazon listing for this bag. I'll post that down in the description below. But first, let's cover some of what it is and what it's supposed to be. I'm going to move the camera here in just a second so you can get a better view of all the features as I talk about them. Okay, so here, hopefully you can see the bag a little better. They market this bag as being a 30-inch case. Now, is that external or internal dimensions? We're going to find out right now. Let me get my tape measure out here, and going from one end to the other, you'll see that the bag is about 32 inches long. They also say that the bag is 13 inches across at the widest portion, 8 inches across at the bottom. And looking at it here, the empty bag's about 15 here and about 12 down here. Now, it is a little bit flattened out. They had requested an unboxing video. Let me give you the rundown on that. This bag came rolled up in a piece of plastic in a little tiny cardboard box, and it was a little bit bent out of shape and took a couple of days of leaving it laying flat for it to return to a somewhat normal looking shape. Let's cover some of the features of the outside of the bag before we open it up and take the internal dimensions. Here on the front, you'll see we have 2 rows of MOLLE loops. If you're not familiar with MOLLE loops, some kinds of holsters and military type gear carrying devices have nylon straps with buttons on them that weave through these loops and allow you an option of various external hanging points for securing your gear. Right behind that, we have a zipper pocket, which is about 5 inches deep and about 17 inches long. And this would be good for sticking maybe your wallet or your cell phone or something like that down in, and probably not much else. The zippers on this bag, when I first got it, I noticed they were very stiff, and it was one of my first concerns. But after opening and closing the bag just about a half a dozen times, the zippers seem to have broken in nicely, and they do seem to be of good quality. The nylon Condura that the bag is made out of feels like it is of relatively good quality. Only time will tell how well it holds up. And I haven't noticed any issues with any of the stitching on the bag. Right down here, you'll see that it comes with this nice muted green American flag patch that is Velcro removable. So if you wanted to put something else on there like this one, you have the option of swapping those out. Right behind that front pouch, we have a zipper compartment that's kind of a half zipper. It goes around the corner at the top and almost down to the bottom. You open it up, there's a nice little pouch that's about the same size as the one on the outside. This one you can see through. It'd be a good place to throw a few bucks or, you know, some important documents that you didn't want to leave on the outside of your pouch. Inside that compartment, you'll see we have several more rows of these MOLLE fasteners that you can stick stuff underneath. There's not a lot of depth to this. You could probably get away with putting some magazine pouches or something like that in that area. Right behind that is a zipper pocket, which is quite deep. It goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. You'll see there that we got about 22 inches of depth, and it is the width of the bag. So what could you put in there? Well, it's hard to say what would fit nicely. Maybe some maps, or, you know, if you had a long knife or something like that that you wanted to store in there, it would probably fit quite well. I'll show you here on that external zipper. While it's not foolproof, there is a provision for locking that zipper closed. So if you wanted to put something in there and keep the kids out of it, or make it relatively secure against a pickpocket while you're taking a bus ride or something like that, it does give you the option to lock that portion of the bag, which is nice. Right behind that is our main zipper, which again has that locking feature. And again, these zippers are opening quite nice now after you open and close them a few times. They were stiff at first, but after just 6, maybe 8 times of opening and closing them fully, they started breaking in quite nicely. Here on the inside of the bag, we have a padded area that not only has some tie-down straps for like securing a rifle or some other type device. You also have a whole bunch of Velcroed MOLLE attachments, which really gives you a wide variety of choices and options for securing your gear to. Let me show you how wide this pouch is. Here you'll see that it's just over 30 inches. Here you'll see, that 13 that they claimed is pushing it, but I guess it's there. And down here at this end, they said 8. It's actually a little better than that, so take it for what it is. You'll see that there's plenty of room in here for some options on how you're going to secure gear. You flip this padded divider over, which can be secured out of the way with these nylon buckles. You'll see that we have another padded portion over here. This one does not have the Velcro on top of the MOLLE, but it otherwise is relatively the same and about the same size. And it comes with these nice adjustable straps for securing something like a firearm. Flipping over to the back of the case, you'll see that we have this foam, I think they call it pearl foam padding that kind of keeps the tension of whatever hard items you have inside the case off your back. While we're talking about having them off your back, here is a picture of how they demonstrate the bag being worn. I am just over 6 feet tall and weigh about 250 pounds, and this is what the bag looks like hanging on me. So it is a little large for a backpack, but for what it is, considering it's a nice size. Also here on the back, you'll see that you have this sling strap, which is attached here for use by a right-handed person. You can take this loose and thread it through the other side, switch this over to the other side, and wear the bag on the left as well. Again, I'll throw that up here so you can see the options. There's also a nice carry handle at the top, as well as a double carry handle with the little Velcro strap at the top to keep those together. I like the fact that you can lock the bag. If you were going to keep a weapon in here in a house with kids, you could secure it that way to keep idle hands away from it. So now we've kind of gone over the specifications of the bag when it's empty, but let's put it in a real world perspective. What can we reasonably achieve to put inside this bag? Well, let's take a look at what I was able to put in there in just a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about how much room we have left. Out here on the front pocket, again, you'll notice it opens nice and easy. Reaching down inside, you'll see I have my laser rangefinder. Additionally, I put a multi-tool in there. There was quite a bit of room left over, but there's not really any way of securing those items inside that pocket. Just be aware of that. Right behind that, we have that zipper pocket that I had showed you. So let's see what we were able to put inside there. Here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 standard capacity magazines, a full-size handgun, and right behind that, let me move these out of the way and I'll show you all the items set out next to it here in just a second. Right behind that, in our main compartment, I know this is the one most of you are wanting to see how it lays out. Here, on one side, we have my CZ Scorpion pistol. You'll notice that it pretty much eats up all the room on that end of the bag. It's fully kitted out with an optic and a flashlight, as well as we have several of the magazines. You'll notice that there is room here where you could rig magazine pouches. On the other side of the bag, we'll remove the center divider so that you can see that we have a full-size AR pistol. This one has a 10.5-inch barrel with a blast cone on the front of it. It has a flashlight mounted as well as an optic, and there's room in that capacity for storage of 4 extra magazines as well. So again, just to kind of give you an idea, we were able to put all of this gear inside the bag. Now, depending on how you were going to set it up for yourself, you'd probably have to make some adjustments in order to make that work. Just know that you have about this much room to work with. So now that we've covered the features of the bag and some of the different options you have for putting stuff in it, I'd like to talk about what it costs and where you could go to get one. I'm going to put a link to the product description on CV Life's Amazon store down in the description of this video. This bag sells on their Amazon store in a variety of colors for $65.99. Now, if you took the time to watch today's video, for starters, thank you. But also, I would like to show my gratitude by sharing with you this discount code that they gave me right here. I'll put that in the video description as well so that you can just copy and paste it should you decide to jump over to Amazon and pick one of these bags up for yourself. For those of you watching on our YouTube channel, we have some of our YouTube logo stickers left over. If you'd like to have one, just let me know down in the comments section. I'll get with you. We'll get one of those sent out to you, no strings attached. We also have some of our Fed Up J. Lewis Rumble stickers, which that's for our Rumble channel, which allows us to operate a little more freely than we're able to on YouTube. If you have not checked out our Rumble channel, that is Fed Up J. Lewis at Rumble. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. If you want one of those stickers, if you want one of each or a couple of each, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll get those sent out to you. And as always, folks, thank you so much for watching. Take care and God bless.